Hey guys, it's Kelly. Hey, I got this super cute card. I actually love it. And I made it, and then I thought, ooh, I'm going to make that again and then do a video on it. So that's the first go around at it. So I'm just showing that to you real quick. Lots of dimension. It's made with Hero Arts mailbox, and I was so challenged with this mailbox die at the beginning. But I found a way to use it. But the next one that I make is real similar to this, not exactly the same, but it was a lot of fun. And I know a lot of people have this die, the Hero Arts mailbox die, and it can get difficult. I don't know because it's got cuts in it, and I'll kind of show you what I mean. So sorry, I'm a little sniffly. Can't help it. 'Tis the time of the year. So I already cut everything to save some time. So I'm kind of showing you the layout. It's the same layout as before, but I cut everything to save some time. So there is the fancy die from Hero Arts. And it's a cute die. It's really cute. The little envelopes, I'm so in love with them. It's not even funny. I just love them. But they, when you use the die, it actually cuts it, and you can make it dimensional. Like if you cut a few of them, you can make it dimensional, but I just added a shadow to this next card. The first card, the legs of the mailbox didn't cut quite right, so I just chopped them off. But on the next one, the new one that I'm doing as a tutorial, I left the legs on there because I didn't, the die stayed in place. So that happens sometimes, right, when you're cutting something out and it slips because you forgot to tape it or you just thought it was going to stay put and it didn't. So instead of chucking the whole thing, I just chopped the legs off and moved on. So I've just got the layout there. It's not glued together. I'm just kind of showing you the plan and showing you the die to where it's cut out with all those parts. So I was like, that's so cute. So I'm just going to have it busting open with mail and letters popping out everywhere. But it's cute how you can, it's also scored too. So you can bend it and actually use it on a dimensional project, and you can on a card you could just bend it up and put some foam tape behind it, like double or triple foam tape, and have it kind of blowing right out of the card. Some really cute ideas, but I struggled with this die at first because I couldn't get it to look right, and the problem was I wasn't coloring it. So I've got some coloring time in this video too with alcohol markers. So hopefully you guys will get some use out of that too. So instead of the sparkly glitter paper, I just used a pale blue paper. And then I used my Ohuhu, I don't know, I never say that right, I'm sure, but alcohol markers. Love those. I am loving those. Copics are the best. I know they are, but that is just too big of an investment for me. So for those that have those, I just use the blue colors, and I found that PB11, PB9, and PB8, those work out pretty well with the blue. And it worked out really well with the blue paper. So, and I sped this up as quick as I could. I think I went 3 times. So some people like to see coloring, some people don't. But this was very, very forgiving. You did not have to get all crazy about, coloring perfect. The lines are cut into it. So at the cuts, that's your guide for where you need to put some, shading and shadows. But it's very forgiving, this coloring this die, as long as you're using, the same, blue shades. If you cut it out in blue and use the same shades of whatever color you decide to die cut your mailbox in. But I wanted to give it some shading and some dimension. So I went over it several times. So you do, light to dark, dark to light, and back and forth and back and forth. And again, it was not one that I had to, be all meticulous about because it was a larger platform. Like when I'm doing flowers and coloring flowers, it's way different, because I've got a white background, so I got to stay in the lines. So this was so relaxing to just slap some color on it and some shadows on it, and it wound up looking really nice in the end. So, and it's cool how the mailbox kind of opens like that, and then you can take that. I guess you can cut that flap out that's on the top of the bin that pulls out with the handle. You take that flap out if you really want to. I didn't. I just wound up tucking everything behind it and thought it was good to go that way. But You can get as crazy as you want with it. But I just had 3 different shades of blue, and whatever markers you want to use would do the same thing. The alcohol markers are my jam lately. I'm loving them. Absolutely loving them. I got the 120 color set from Ahuhu, and I do not regret that at all. I actually am really glad that I did that because I was like, well, maybe you should just start getting Copic markers and just get them a few at a time. And no, these work great, and they're brush tips, so just like Copics. Um, yeah, I'm really pleased with them. Really, really happy that I got that. So just going back and forth and back and forth. I've got more videos that I just haven't had a chance to get them edited and do voiceovers. I'm working to get, some of those done, but I've been making cards like crazy, so I can't even keep up with the videos for all the creating that I've been doing. So I've been making sure that I have a little bit more time in my life to do this because this is my jam. I love doing this, and this is my places in. So, and it's important, I think, we give ourselves the time to do the things that we love. Obviously take care of your family and all that because they're number one, and they're my number one thing I like to hang out with and stuff. But when I get some extra time or they're doing their own thing, then I escape to my craft room and have some fun creation time. And I can't do a video of everything, and that's always fun. That's more of a chore than anything, but I like to share the ones that turn out really good and the ones that I think have tips and tricks in there that might help. But this one was just, I was really struggling with this die. I couldn't find a way to use it until I wound up coloring it with my markers, and that really helped. And then cutting it out twice and using the black one as a shadow in the back. And I don't know, that just made it look better to me. And then, yeah, what sentiment to use. I didn't have a whole lot of sentiments, but I've been adding to my stash. But what I wound up using on this card is a really, really old one from when I first started scrapbooking, actually. It was one of the first stamps sets that I got. So I'm trying to use some of my old stash, because it's been sitting there and you forget what you have in your stash. So it's always inspirational to go look at some of the things that you haven't checked out in a while and go, oh, wow, I totally forgot I got that. Funny thing is when you finally have 2 of something because you forgot you already bought it. Don't lie. You know what happens to you too. So I'm just using the gray shades just to add a shadow on the envelopes for wherever the creases are. And on this card, unlike the first one had a ton of envelopes. I felt like it was a little too many were on that first one, but I kept going with it, so I left it alone. I didn't try and take them off, but this one I thought I'd put a few less because it looked a little too crazy. But the message on this one, when we get to that sentiment, the message on it says just a note to say thanks. Well, when you put a whole bunch of envelopes and they're busting out of the mailbox, that's the message of, wow, thank you so much, like overboard thanks. Because, yeah. And, to send it to somebody who's really made a difference makes sense. So once I get all those colored, it just tucks right in there. And you can see it out the back, but no big deal because that's going to go down. No one's going to see it. Well, you can do whatever colors you want, but there is a slit right there in the side of the box, and it does look a little bit odd with things busting out of it. But that's the whole point. Like, there's so many thank you notes that I'm sending to you that the mailbox can't even handle them because I'm so thankful. So that's the underlying message that I tried to send there. And this is just paper from my stash. There's the striped paper at the bottom is from a recent kit that I got, and it's super cute. So thought it would match well with, and the red, white, blue, and black is just made me think of postal service for some reason. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Seemed to work for me. But so I use my ATG gun. That's one of my favorite tools in my craft room. It's so convenient and pretty affordable too to get the refills. So, and if you make a lot of books and journals, it's so handy to have. And those are just, that red strip is just a thick strip of red paper that I just have in my stash. And everything, all the other envelopes I had busting out of the mailbox, but then I thought, oh, I'm just going to have some that are falling down outside of it. And some easy, gluing things. I don't know if, I mean, maybe some people do that. Like once I find where it's at, I just leave it there and just lift it up a little bit, put some glue behind it, and stick it down. Because if I took it out and tried to put it back in, it might not go in the way that I liked it initially. But I did the lazy gluing on this whole card. It's kind of funny. But the die that I was using actually allowed for it, so. But yeah, all those little envelopes. Some of them just show you the back of them. Some of them you can see the stamp, the addressing on it too. So there are three different type of envelopes, really, in different style of the envelope flap. So lots of versatility in the die, and I was struggling with it so bad because at first, because I really wanted to use it, and I kept cutting it out. I'm like, no, I don't know what to do with it. I don't like it. And finally, I just needed to color it and give it the dimension that it's meant to have, and it worked out good. So I hope you guys like it too. So, and I like it better with the legs on there again, like I said earlier. But if it cuts wrong, then just chop them off. It's no big deal. And at the end of my foam tape roll, I bought some new foam tape on the Amazon. I said the Amazon anyway, you know what I mean, on Amazon, and it's not the same as the 3M Amazon, no, or the 3M foam tape. Amazon has the 3M one, but it costs more, so I saved a few bucks getting this other one. But it's weird, the foam has like a yellow tinge to it, and it's got air bubbles in it. Now, does it still work? Yep, it still works. But what I'm finding is that in the cards and things that I've been making lately, even though it has its adhesive on there, I use my Nuvo Deluxe glue and I put it all over the adhesive anyway because it's for one, it's more secure in my opinion, but also it allows me that wiggle room time when I gotta kind of wiggle it into place and keep things straight. So when I just put that glue on there, it lets me move it around a little bit. So really, really helpful for me because I can't seem to get things straight the first go. But and I tell you, I finally learned that in card design, because making cards is kind of new. I'm really into art journaling, things like that, but really loving card making lately because I've been buying kits and putting that strip down at the bottom and just kind of breaking up the front of the page so that you can ground your focal point was something that I didn't really grasp. And again, I say it all the time, but I didn't go to school. I'm not a professional artist. I'm just a mom making stuff and doing something I like. So how that works, I didn't know how that worked. So I was like, gosh, it's just floating there. It doesn't make sense. And once you put a border down, like you could put a little, the street down there if you wanted, but I didn't want that. I wanted it to look like a card. But when you break up the page and you put a stripe or a strip of paper in there where the two different patterns join each other, it really helps to create a good design. So if you're new to card making or I didn't think that I was very good at this for the longest time. And I think I just had to figure some stuff out. I just had to make some cards. I'm like, I think it would have looked better if I would have done this, and just figure it out, just make them. And watching YouTube videos helps too, obviously. I mean, you see what other people did, but then you sit there and you try and recreate it. And if you don't have all those same tools and invest all that same money that they did in what they're using, you can't always get what you get. And Lord knows I've invested a lot into my craft room, so there's no shortage of tools, but it's not the same for everybody. So, but that Misty, I love my Misty. I also have the Tim Holtz one, but I'm really kind of preferring the Misty because of that platform that's in there. The protective sheet that's underneath there, it says My Sweet Petunia with the grid on it. That, for those that don't know, I know a lot of you are like, yeah, whatever, we already know this. But there's a lot of people that don't know. So the Misty is like the best thing ever. Ever, ever, ever. Because I can't do things straight to save my life. But it makes sure I hit it on there straight every single time. I absolutely love it. And then I learned from Jennifer McGuire the really thin paper that goes down in the MISTI that you stamp on. She laminated it, and what a great idea, right? So I did. I laminated about 3 or 4 sheets, and I'll be using those, and then I won't have to rebuy the paper ones when they get too dirty, because it literally you just wash it right off with a baby wipe or just water and a paper towel. So yeah, laminating your sheets is a genius idea, and it's not mine. That is from Jennifer McGuire, who's a card making genius, and I learn a lot from her. But yeah, the MISTI is a must have for card makers, in my opinion. The Tim Holtz one works fantastic too. Um, uh, I haven't found a major difference between the two of them, except for the colors of it. But I don't know. I don't know. I just keep going back to the MISTI every time. So it's got the foam on there too. So I think that's part of it. And I bought the foam for the Tim Holtz one as well, but I don't know. I just keep going back to the MISTI. But the Tim Holtz stamp positioner is fantastic as well. Well, the stamp platform, I forget what he calls it. But it's definitely a big win. So hopefully you won't hear too many background noises. I've got neighbors the kids are just having a blast on the trampoline. So it happens. At least they're out playing and having fun. They're not all inside, hiding from COVID. End of the world stuff. Gosh, can't wait for this all to be over. But so I cut out all those banners, and those banners are just they have a stitching around the whole outside of it. Really, really cute banner, and I got it on Amazon. I think I paid maybe $7 or $8 for that whole set. I think there's like 4 dies in it. But yeah, I love that. I love the banner. You can make your own, of course, but the stitching on there, I love that stitching, and it's imprinted in there. It cuts it, so I think it adds a cute little extra element to it. So I got really lazy, once I found that, I liked the positioning of all the banners all layered together. I just rolled them back and glued them. Why not, right? Because I didn't need to worry about positioning it. It was the fastest way to do it, so it happened real quick. So, and that's the new roll of tape that I was telling you about that I got. And it works fine. It works fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just noticed that it had like a yellow tinge to it, and then, which makes me think that it's not like an acid-free kind of thing. So, but by the time I'm done with it, I put a bunch of Nuvo Deluxe glue on top of it anyway, so what does it really matter at the end? So, and I'm just cutting little pieces for the banner flag pieces hanging out there, because this is going to be in the mail. And hopefully it makes it through the mail fine. Now, I haven't heard anybody get back with me on anything not making it through the mail fine, but I've heard that on YouTube by a lot of people about foam tape. A lot of people are saying that it doesn't go well through the mail. So, I don't know. Maybe I've just been lucky. But those tweezers, I've had those for the longest time. I got them from a friend of mine, and I have no idea where she got them. I think she got them at some kind of craft fair that she was at in California. And I was like, I must have those. I must have you. She actually let me have them. But they're super, super pointy. Now, the other ones that we can get, the ones that you squeeze and they're like backwards tweezers, those, I don't know, confuses me. Yes, it holds it in place pretty good, but so does this. But holding it in place without having to hold it in your hand would be beneficial. I have them, but I never use them. And they're super, super pointy, even more pointy than these two tweezers that I have. But yeah, these ones are awesome. I can't tell you where to get them, guys, because I've had them for years and years and years. But I can't find anything that's even close to them. But the ones that you squeeze and then it opens the tweezers, it eludes me. It doesn't elude me. I just don't prefer it. That's all. I'm smart enough to know how they work, guys. I promise. And the reason why I have 2 different Nuvo Deluxe glues out there is because one of the tips kind of snapped off because it got glued to the lid. It snapped off on me, and so when you put the glue down, it's not that fine tip. And that works great for bigger surfaces, so I just keep that one open, and then I have one that has a fine tip, and it works out just fine. So that's why I've got 2 out there. So, and I've just got my light gray markers, and I'm putting some shadows around the mailbox. It's really, really subtle. You can kind of see it. In real life, you can see it, and it looks really, really cool. I'm so glad that I did that because it added more dimension to it, and it wound up looking really good. So when I did it, it looked so good around the mailbox. I was like, I think I'll do it around all of the envelopes. So, yeah. And the shadows on there, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to put a shadow in there. There's a line between card making and mixed media. And no, there's no line. If there is, you put it there. You didn't need to. There's nothing wrong with, having some mixed media elements on a card. The straight lines and the cleanliness of it, I appreciate that. I love that too. And there's a time and place for that. But there's nothing wrong with adding some shadows on there, in my opinion, to make it look more dimensional. And, it's I don't know. I think it adds more to it. But let me know what you guys think about that. Because card making is kind of new to me. And why wouldn't we mix everything in together? You've got scrapbooking, you've got card making, you've got mixed media, you got art journaling and all that good stuff. Why wouldn't you put it all in one? Why can't I might even take this mailbox and make a art journal page out of that. So if I did an art journal page first, why couldn't I do a card? So, and it's actually 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's there's not going to be a border around it. And that works fine for me. And I've got some, I started with 90 pound, but I needed 110 pound because it's kind of a hardy panel. So it's got to have something to hold it in place. So it's 110 pound Nina cardstock that I got from Amazon. Everybody says they got Nina Solar White. Now, I don't know if this is Solar White. I don't think it is. It just said white. I don't know what the difference is. So I just got a ream of it and moved on. But it works fine for me. But I bet if Solar White is like really, really white, then I must be missing something. But this is white enough. And I don't know if one is more expensive than the other. Probably is, but. So that's the thicker tube, or the thicker nozzle of my Nuvo Deluxe, the one that broke off. And it wound up being a really happy accident because I can get more glue down in larger places instead of squeezing little lines from the fine tip. But this glue is the best I have ever used. I've been doing this a long time. It is the best I've ever used. It has the perfect amount of wiggle room without being annoying that you have to sit and wait for it to dry. And I'm very, very impatient. So the Nuvo Deluxe is my jam for glue, the absolute best. Between that and my ATG gun, I'm all set. I don't need anything else. Except for, that's not true. I'm sorry. I do need my matte medium. So there it is. Super, super cute, I think. I hope you guys think so too. I decided to just cut a little blue panel in there to put a sentiment on. I could have gotten all crazy and decorated the inside too. I decided against it. I think I looked at some of the envelopes saying, that would be cute to just pop those in there. But I saved them for another card. But yeah, I hope you guys like this. I hope that it inspired you to use that die if you have it. If not, pick it up. It's not that expensive. Hero Arts has some really, really good stuff. And if you color it and add some shading, it definitely helps to make it pop a little bit more. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and hit that notification bell so you can see the next video that goes up. Yeah, I've been kind of stuck at about 25,000 subscribers for a really long time, but I haven't been doing videos as much because life and the job gets too busy and it takes a long time to edit, but trying to get some more out here for you guys. But yeah, so there it is. So hit the notification bell, like I said, and we'll get some more videos out there for you soon. And let me know what you guys think of this card in the comments, and if you've got this die and if you've had any luck with it, because I was frustrated at first. I thought, why, this doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. So I hope you guys find a way to make it work just like I did. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and there will be more to come here soon.